Hey team, welcome to this week's version of Mobility Wednesday. This week we are looking at the wrists specifically. We do a lot of work on our hands here at CaliUnity, and I know a lot of people have asked about ways to keep their wrists as conditioned as possible. So we're going to go through a nice little warm-up routine as well as some exercises we can do to strengthen them. Let's get into it. For all our CaliUnity members, this will be available on the app for you, but I'm also going to put a screenshot at the end of the video with all the exercises on that we've been through. So let's take it down to the ground. Alright then guys, so we've come down onto all fours, shoulder directly above the wrist. Okay, so nice and straight arms, locked from the elbow. Both arms down. Fingers pointing away from us, pits of the elbows pointing forwards. All we're going to do is just 6 rocks back and forth. Here we're going to try and push that range a little bit, so it's bound to feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's perfectly normal, that's where you want to be. If you feel any pain at any point, either stop or pull back that range a little bit. Just go to where you can. Once we've done our 6 rocks in that neutral position, we are going to bring the wrists together. Thumbs point forward. So you're making almost this little spider shape. Yeah, see? Thumbs forward, fingers out to the side. We're just going to do 6 clockwise circles, trying to push that shoulder over the fingertips as much as we can. And we're also going to do 6 circles anti-clockwise. For this one, you just want to bring the wrists as close together as you can and push the shoulder as far out over the fingertips as you can. But again, feel any pain, just stop or just pull back on that range a little bit. After you've done your 6 clockwise and 6 counterclockwise circles, we're going to turn our hands around so our fingers are now pointing back towards our knees. All we're going to do here is bend the elbow, lift the heel of the palm up and place it back down nice and slowly. This one's really nice if you've been doing a lot of typing. You need to stretch those forearms. Just nice and smooth, nice and slow, 6 on each arm. After you've done 6 on each arm, from this position we are going to turn our hands over. So our palms are now going to face towards the sky. This one always feels a little bit strange. Okay? Your thumbs are like a crossbar of a goalpost. The first fingers are the post themselves, so you've got a nice little rectangle shape in here. It's perfectly natural to have a bit of a bend in the elbows in this position, especially if you're not used to it. And all I want you to do if you do have a bit of an elbow bend is focus on almost pushing the elbows toward each other. So you keep the hands nice and locked where they are and just push the elbows toward each other until you can turn those elbows outwards and lock those straight arms. It might not take 1 session, it might not take 5, it might take quite a few, but just work that range. If you can straighten your arms, that's fantastic. I want you to have them nice and straight and just rock backwards and forwards here. 6. And then all you're going to do then, after your 6, shake them out a bit, and you're good to go. Alright then guys, so now we've warmed up the wrists, we're going to do some movements to strengthen them. So you're going to need a weighted object that's heavier on one end than the other. So I've got this adjustable dumbbell here with a kilo plate on the end. Objects you might have in the house, a hammer for example would be really good. You can do it with an object that's the same weight throughout. If you find a weighted object too heavy, you can use the TV remote, for example. That's a really good one to do, you know, if you're just sitting watching Netflix. I'm going to demo the movements now with this extra weight. What the weight does is it encourages us to go into that full deep range and come up from it. So I would recommend definitely using an object that's heavier on one end than it is on the other. So let's get started then. Elbow bend at 90 degrees. Keep that elbow nice and fixed there. Hold the object nice and neutral in your fist. We're going to drop down to the left, all the way down. Keep the wrist strong, so don't let it bend. Keep nice and straight. Come up and down. And the aim here is to do it steadily with control. Up. I would say do 5 controlled repetitions on each side to start with. And then as you build in more strength, try and add 1 or 2 reps each time. Really feel that range. Also, as you start to go through the movements, your wrists should start to open up a bit, so you'll find you can probably let it drop a little bit further before you pull it back. But obviously do this at your own pace and with what works for you. So that's the first movement, just that side to side lateral movement. The second movement we're going to do, I'm going to turn slightly side on so you can see the angles a bit better. We'll start from here and we're going to tilt forward and back. So we're going to just tilt down, tilt up. Again, elbow at 90 degrees, you're nice and still, all just focusing on that wrist action. Down. At that bottom position, it's almost like you're holding a sword that you're challenging someone. Pull, all the way back. Keep that grip solid through the fingers here. Don't just let it go. Hold nice and tight. You won't get as much range, but as you get stronger and stronger, that range will get better and better. Again, 5 or 6 reps on each hand in this position. Back to neutral. So now we're going to work the movement the opposite way. So we've worked from top to bottom, now we're going to work bottom to top. So now we're in our bottom to top position, so you're going to bring the weight underneath and push it out as far as you can. Parallel to the forearm, much as you can, push out as far as you can. Parallel, push. This one is definitely the hardest to get that range. So you're just going to be nice and gentle with it. And again, 6 reps here. And then come back to that neutral position. The last one, we're going to kind of combine a full 360 movement. So it's kind of a combination of both of those movements. So the arm's going to be out here. You're going to come down, you're going to loop around, then you're going to come up. And come down, loop around. And I want 6 on each arm in each direction. You might find that you can do it more one way than the other. That's just because your wrist might be used to one action over another. But just 6 on both sides. Come back nice and neutral. And just remember to do those on both hands. Alright then guys, so there we have some lovely exercises for warm-ups through the wrists and some strengthening as well. Really good for those handstands, those calisthenic skills where you're on your hands a lot. If you've got any mobility related questions or you want to chat to us about anything, leave us a comment down below or ping us a DM and we'll get back to you. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.